right, so that was Echo Hunter. Some good rhythms right there. And it's time for us to talk nutrition this morning on our nutrition segment. And of course, being the World Food Safety Day, a very important conversation that we're going to have this morning with, of course, none other than Akosia Konedu-Yadom, who is a state-registered nutritionist. And she's going to help us to get into this conversation this morning. We're going to be talking about aflatoxins and what you should know. Aflatoxins and your food and what you need to know about them. Good morning, Akosia.
Good morning, Chris.
How are you?
I'm awesome. Yourself?
Why are you doing like you are, subdued? And the weather is nice. The sun has come up.
Stop it. You started behind the scene.
How are you?
I'm awesome. Yourself?
Fantastic.
I hope you're not hyper today. Or you have a lot of aflatoxins.
I don't know. Well, you can explain to us what that is, and I can tell you whether I have or I don't have.
Marty.
All right. Okay. What are aflatoxins, by the way? Because some years ago, there's a whole hue and cry about KNK, aflatoxins, blah, 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 all kinds of things like that. These days, we don't hear too much of it. But what are aflatoxins, and why are they even important to know? So
fungi, or they are something that is not supposed to be in us. So I will start off by saying that aflatoxins are common with most of our crops we have around. And so even in my shares, I started off by saying that deer kenke, morocco, and then banku lava.
Yeah.
This is a segment you don't want to
mess
because I love kenke more than fufu, even though I'm Akosia Konedu. So I see that corn or maize is a staple in Ghana here, and so when it comes to aflatoxins, I believe that because it grows within a lot of crops that are harvested, sometimes due to post-harvest or even pre-harvest. So with crops like maize, nuts, groundnuts, and then we have the tree nuts.
Yeah.
That family, cashew nuts, is in. So everything that has to do with pulses, nuts, or seeds. Yes, and then some spices needs to be given attention when it comes to aflatoxins. They are fungal infections, or they render the food we eat unwholesome.
Okay. So you're talking about food that we can see fungal growth, mold and fungal growth growing on it, right? Okay. All right. So yeah. Now, how does that translate? So, for example, if I have maize that is growing mold, okay, if I take the maize and I wash, is that not good enough? So
there's some, even when bread or even fanti kenke is going that way, you see that orange thing, growth on it.
Yes.
The typical Ghanaian mother will just cut that bit off and then we use it. Even with our breads, even with maize, like you said, they will wash it. And I am talking about this because some of us would want to buy our condos from the market.
Yeah.
And that person wouldn't buy a bag of maize, watch some molds or anything grow on it and decide to discard them.
Okay.
But that is what you need to do. If you see any growth on it, you are supposed to discard, because no matter what you do to it, there is a leach as far as what we don't want to consume is concerned. So you washing is not enough. Even heat doesn't destroy aflatoxins.
I see.
Heat doesn't.
Of course, because we know that fungus can survive under extreme heat.
So nothing can kill it. It happens naturally. And until nature decides to do something to it, everything about it can't be destroyed. Okay. And so once you observe, and the WHO has a publication on that, 25% of whatever we harvest go to waste due to aflatoxins.
Wow.
Yes. 25% of it goes to waste due to aflatoxins, because that's what has to be done. If I see that there is aflatoxins or whatever, the quality of that maize or that crop has been tempered with, it has to be discarded. And so 25% of whatever we harvest, as far as the world is concerned, goes to waste due to aflatoxins. You can't wash it. Washing is not enough. Even heating, boiling to the highest point is not enough to destroy aflatoxins. So the best thing to do is to discard it, because they pose a lot of health risk to us, Kweku. for children, stunting. As a nutritionist, stunting is very important to me because it's so bad that you just can't do anything about it. Even if you have the means to and would want to do something about it. Can I take a child to the hospital and tell them to stretch this child because I think the child is short? No. And after 2 years, nobody can correct it for you. So you should watch it, and then we should be mindful. We should be diversified as far as our food is concerned. So that is why now it's even changing. If I'm planning meals for patients or clients, you need to make sure there is variety. For instance, if a child starts eating, and a typical Ghanaian home will serve mpampa or cocoa made from corn or maize, and then you are doing and you are having a discussion with a mother or a parent who brought a child in, and you realize that morning is cocoa, afternoon is cocoa, evening is cocoa, and if you have a mother who is very considerate, they will do morning cocoa with milk or formula or whatever, and then afternoon they will do cocoa with fish powder. And in the evening, they will twist it with a bit of soya or even egg. And so they think that they are varying the diet a bit. But imagine if this condo has aflatoxins in it. Excessive doses or you being exposed to them more can affect your liver health. It can affect your liver health. And there are other forms, because of the carcinogens in there, they put you at risk for some cancers.
Wow.
So everything we put here has a way it affects our body. And so we need to be really careful. If you can do it, just get the maize or corn yourself. There you can see when molds are growing on maize or nuts or some of these pulses and some spices like what we call the peppercorns, the cloves, a formwisa, a strohwisa, the huentia, the cloves. If they are growing on it, you can clearly see. But if you come to me and I have made a winnie mix or I have prepared corn dough, can you tell if it came from something that has aflatoxins on?
So I want us to look at an image on the screen which shows fungal growth on maize and how difficult, how easy it is. I mean, how many of us have not seen this kind of thing? You know, how many of us haven't seen this kind of thing before, where we see fungus?
It is common.
It's a very common feature.
It's very common.
Right? Now, because we feel that when we wash, right,
they go off.
We get rid of the white and the green.
I'm sorry, it sits in the food.
Okay. What we don't realize is that it's actually growing into the maize as well.
Thank you.
So apart from what you're seeing on the outside, there's some growing on the inside.
Thank you so much.
And so this is very, very dangerous, especially when you have like a whole batch, a sack full, and you don't want the sack to go to waste. Then you sort of remove portions of this, which are heavily affected, and then you clean the rest, and then you think that you're okay.
It is clean.
It
is clean. We have to really be cautious as far as grocery shopping is concerned. Even dealing with patients and clients, I sometimes tell them, why don't you have a question for me? Because you're supposed to ask me a question. Don't be afraid of the white coat. You are supposed to ask me a question when you come to the hospital. But a typical Ghanaian will go to the market, mete bro lonka, and they don't care about really paying attention to every single grain to make sure that it is something that is fit for consumption. Even rice is also part of it. The rice we consume is also part. So
and if you keep rice in a moldy room,
crops, it has everything to do with crops and our climate, because of where we find ourselves. So molds will obviously grow at a humid environment. So we have a warm climate, and then humidity is a part of us. So you need to make sure that you are really taking good care of your crops. Even rice, taking care of rice in a house. Sometimes you open the rice and you find weevils in there. How did they find their way there? So there is a way, even after opening a bag of rice, how to properly store it to make sure you don't have some of these things growing in there. We don't inspect, so we are just giving the bag. Okay, then they do it, or a bag, and then you just carry it. We don't even read the labels to know if this product is going to expire in July. But because, okay, there is promotion, don't call me, we just buy it and forget to kind of look out for some of these things, because imagine liver issues, the health issues that comes with it. Can you imagine looking at how good you look? To have a stunted child, I will look at your child and go like, oh, so Kweku, upon all the shotos, you can't even be responsible enough to know that there are some deficiencies.
But it's something from food.
It is something that has to do with what you eat.
Food, wow.
Wasting, stunting, and it even affects animals. So you want to enjoy chicken. What we are feeding that poultry with, we sometimes do maize. We give them maize. Whatever you are feeding that poultry animal you are rearing will have a way, an effect on you. There are people who love to enjoy what we call nono, or fresh milk from cows. If a cow is constantly losing weight, it means that it could be possible that whatever you fed that cow had aflatoxins in there. So it is not just about the crops, it can also affect the animals we consume as food, being poultry, being cattle, and even pigs, the pig lovers. So whatever, so it's difficult doing it, because how dare me go to the market and go like, where did you keep this pig? Or where did you keep this meat or the pork I'm buying? But the ones we have control over, we should make sure. And I'm sure if agencies and organizations are working properly, what we don't see, because I wouldn't know where this beef I am buying, this mutton I am buying is coming from. But if agencies are working properly, I will be sure and confident that, okay, this came from my anchor, and everything that this cattle needed to be able to produce this healthy beef I need to consume is properly taken care of.
I'm just thinking about the fact that pigs eat from anywhere, and a lot of the times we leave our pigs free range, which means that they are consuming all kinds of trash.
We are blessed people. When I'm researching for this segment, sometimes I laugh. Because I go like, okay, pig. Who controls a pig here in Ghana? You can. I
mean, there are a few pig farms, but it's not. But a lot of pigs are free range.
How many people will walk to a pig farm and go like, okay, we are buying a full pig, we'll slaughter it, divide it into portion, and take care of ourselves as a family. I live alone. Why do I need a whole pig for?
Anyway, we'll continue our conversation. Don't forget that this segment is the nutrition segment, and it is sponsored by Lily Rice. Lily Rice, tasty food, happy family. Be
Lily
right back.
has no mood.
Don't go anywhere.
Hey, bro. Bless you, Pastor.
Bless you, my son.
Ifo, it be so.
Tasty food, happy family.
Ewi, my body is come after they see something.
Find out why people are going a whole 9 yards just to eat Lele rice. Lele, tasty food, happy family.
Tasty food and a happy family.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. We're still on the nutrition segment, and just a quick reminder before we continue the conversation with Akosia, my GHP is back with a bang. Now, my GHP is Ghana's biggest online payments and collections platform, and they're saying to us that they've got new developments that have happened within the app. all right, that they have. The app, of course, you can download from Play Store, Apple Store. The app has new push notifications, in-app reporting, new services like box office subscriptions, as well as data bundle purchases. And then GHQR code payment options, and then security features like Face ID and fingerprint logins. And of course, my GHP, like I said, you can go to Play Store or Apple Store, download it, and you're good to go. My GHP by Cell Connect. Now, of course, we're having conversations this morning about aflatoxins and the dangers that they pose to us as humans and as human beings. Of course, from crops as well as from the animals that we feed various crops to. They can all be affected and come to affect us eventually. Now, we want to continue this conversation a little further. Akosia? Yes, so we rounded up earlier on by saying that we need to even, animals like pigs who eat rampantly and from anywhere, they can easily consume crops
anything
or maize, and sometimes even it's not even by accident. The people say that this maize is moldy,
so
let's give it to the pigs. So they feed the pig with the maize that has aflatoxins in it. Then the pig eats it, and they kill the pig for Christmas, forgetting that they gave it.
And then we invite Kweku.
No, I ain't coming. So this is something that happens, and it's not far-fetched at all.
No. It's common. You can go to Makola today, any market today, and you will see it.
Yeah. So take us a little further into it. How aflatoxins, the impact, how does it pass through the food chain? If you can just walk us through what we're looking at.
So there is an image to that. It could, just like aflatoxins. Okay.
There.
So now you realize that we have it even eggs, poultry. So
Yes.
it affects livestock, obviously, and then it affects the cows.
Yes.
And then their products, nuts. And for the nuts,
So of course the cows will eat the maize. The cows will eat the groundnuts. The chickens will also eat groundnuts. And
so we all eat it.
Yes.
So it has a way of coming back to us.
Yeah.
Because if you are taking good care of yourself and the products you are consuming, obviously you won't survive without food. So what you are eating can bless you with the aflatoxins causing the food poisoning that your body goes through as far as aflatoxicosis is concerned. So nuts, one of the most easiest as far as to be affected as far as aflatoxins. So me, I'm a nuts lover, and so I know, but like I said, if we all are supposed to do what we have to do, we can make sure we are taking care of ourselves. Because if I go to buy groundnut paste, obviously I can't make my own groundnut paste. And so if I go to buy the groundnut paste and I'm not sure of what the person used,
the process they've used,
the processing, so it could be pre-harvest or even post-harvest. So that it can happen through that. And so obviously, if you go like, okay, so me, I'm not doing a lot of pulses, nuts, and seeds, you probably may be taking poultry or eggs. You may be taking garlic.
Let's take a look at another image that shows us the different places that aflatoxins can be found.
Okay.
There we have it. So in groundnuts.
Aflatoxins, Koku, that's your biochemistry sitting there.
Yes.
And then we have milk, we have dried foods. And then we have chili peppers, we have sorghum, we have oil seed, we have rice, we have groundnuts. And so most of the pulses we use, we have maize, we have rice, we have spices. And I mentioned peppercorns, cloves. That is the hrinsia, the efomwisa, the srowisa we use. And all the other spices, we have even cocoa bean can also have it on them.
Wow.
And I have seen that thing.
Okay.
It's something that is so with us. It is common. You can go to Adabraka Market after the show. It is just there. And so we have even some oils, crude oils. You know, oils sometimes you need to be refined before you can achieve. Okay, so the cannula I saw on the shelf at the supermarket needed to pass through a process before I got the cannula. So those oils, even mold can grow.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
on oil. So basically, almost everything we consume, once molds
Is growing on it.
can grow on it,
There's
you
one
are
that
exposed.
there's one that comes related to mind. Shito.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chili pepper.
Yes. When you don't preserve it well, you
Yes.
don't keep it well, in a very short time, a couple of days.
You should, even keeping it well, sometimes, no matter how well you want to keep it, you still have it. So after some time,
need
you
to.
can do reheating to make sure that at least you are prolonging the shelf life. Because some of these things, and I'm happy you are bringing some of these items out. Shito is common, especially if you went to boarding school.
I mean,
like myself. It is common. It's
Almost the entire population of Ghana
we
enjoys
love
shito
shito
from time to time.
We love shito. So wherever moats can grow, there is that risk, and it's very important for me. I want to focus on the younger ones, because after 6 months we do complementary feed.
Okay.
If aflatoxins increase in a child's body, the immune system of this child is kind of suppressed, and then the digestive system of this child. So you do damage to the immune system of the child. You do damage to the digestive system of the child. And it is the reason why the child will end up being wasted. That is, you have a child, they come to you, they go like, this child is 8 months, 9 months, 1 year, and you are like, I just saw somebody, it happened to me last 2 weeks. I just saw somebody who is just 6 months with the same weight your 1 year, 2 months child is presenting to me, even though it's normal. So there is a depletion as far as what the child is supposed to have is concerned. The weight is affected. That is the wasting. You don't look your age, or the child doesn't look his or her age. And then stunting, the child doesn't look the height at that age you are giving me. So that is it. And we have other dangers. You can the acute poisoning, I've spoken about it. That is the aflatoxins. We have life-threatening conditions like liver damage.
Wow.
You can damage your liver. And then we have acute liver failure too.
As
so
well.
liver and aflatoxins,
largely affected.
it affects it. You can have jaundice, lethargy. So if you are going through some of these things, headaches, lethargy, jaundice, if you are running, if your body is not feeling the same, you need to check up.
All right. Akosia, where can people find you?
So on Instagram at the nutritionist Akosia, at the nutritionist Akosia, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, nutritionist Akosia, and you can WhatsApp me on 0243350206.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Akosia Kunedi Yadom. She's a state registered nutritionist and has been helping us to understand aflatoxins. And of course, it is World Food Safety Day, and it's a very important conversation for us to have because you do want to live healthy and live long as it is. Well, this segment has been sponsored by Lele Rice. Lele Rice, tasty food, happy family. We'll be right back as we take a look at our entertainment highlights.